Hey guys, this is your analytics mentor Aditi Gupta. Welcome to another video in our YouTube channel, which is totally dedicated on how to deal with career gaps. So guys, personally, I want to address this particular question for all the students out there, the working professionals who are facing issues to handling the career gap. And as an analytics mentor, I'm getting a lot of questions every day on a daily basis that Aditi, I have a career gap after my graduation, or I have worked in this and that domain, and after that I had a huge career gap because of my family problems and issues, and I want to restart my career, and so on. And this is a problem faced by a lot of people, and it is a very general query. You don't need to hesitate to ask this to anyone, and this particular video is dedicated to all the persons out there who are feeling that they are stuck in their career growth just because of the career gap you have. Okay, so let's talk about how to deal with career gap. And before jumping into this particular question, I want to ask you why you have a career gap. Okay, which is the first thing you need to know is that Aditi, why I have a career gap. Okay, you need to have a proper reason for the same after graduations or in a working life, and why and how many years of career gap you have. Okay, so let me talk about that as well. The first thing is why you have a career gap. Second is how many years or how many months you have a career gap. And the third thing that you need to ask yourself is, okay, I have a career gap. What are the next steps? What are my end goals? Okay, so after that you need to ask, what are the next steps? In which domain I want to work? Okay, what are the skills I need to develop? And for that, what are the courses I am giving? What are the tests and exams I am giving for the same? Okay, so you have a career gap, that's fine, but you need to ask yourself that how many years of you have career gap, why, and what is your goal. The next step is totally depends on the goal you have. Let's say you have 1 year of gap, 2 year of gap. Now what are the goals? What are the next steps? If you have worked as a sales analyst, or you're working in a sales domain, marketing, HR, finance, after that, because of any reason, you have 2 to 3 years of career gap. Okay, now you want to restart your career, and it totally depends on you. If you want to restart on the same domain you have worked before, or if you want to restart in a different domain, then your goal and mindset needs to be clear from the first day itself. Okay, so first of all, if you have a career gap, have a pen and paper and write it down, all these particular things. If you have not decided your goal yet, go to the Google Chrome and search for what are the most demanded technologies out there which you can learn. What are the most demanded skills out there, which is the skill which is very important, and the industries and companies are looking for to hire in that particular skills. Okay, and it can be one of the skill which you can upgrade in the data analytics, business analytics, and in the data industry as well. It is also totally depend on you. Okay, so this is about how to deal with career gap. Okay, now the next question is how many years of career gap you have. Okay, if you have less than 1 year of career gap, if you have 1+ years of career gap, 2+years, 3+years, or 4+years, to handle all these career gaps, there is a different mechanism. Okay, it's not like that the same process needs to be done in all the types of career gaps you have. Okay, because most of the freshers after graduation, they have a career gap because they didn't get a job. Okay, also they are not getting a desired profile where they wants to work with. So after graduation, if you have a less than of a year career gap, or 5 months of career gap, 6 months of career gap, that is absolutely fine. Okay, that is for sure fine, because here, to handle this particular gap, less than of year career gap, you can say that you have upgraded your skills. Okay, or you can just simply say that you have done some skill development, or you can say that you have done some free internship with any organization. Okay, or you can say you have worked with some NGOs and so on. Okay, now let's talk about if you have a career gap more than a year. Okay, maybe you have a career gap 1+ year, 2+ year, 3+ year, and 4+ years. So these are the career gaps if you have. Now let's check out what can be the reason of these career gaps. If you have all these particular career gaps, that maybe you are a completely fresher. Okay, and after the fresher itself you have this much of career gap, or maybe you are a working professional, worked in a different domain, and after that you have a career gap because of any reason. Like women can have a career gap because of their family, pregnancy, and so on. Men can have a career gap because of their maybe the family issues or any hurdles out there. Okay, so maybe that you can have a career gap after freshers. Okay, after you have done your graduation as a fresher you have this much of career gap, or as a working professional you have a career gap, or maybe you have a career gap because you have because you prepared for some exams. It can be a government exams as well, so there can be also reason because of the government exams. And most of the students have a career gap after graduation because they are giving the exams like CAT, okay, for their MBA, and some students give IELTS for the foreign educations and so on. So it can be any exam preparations. Okay, so any exam preparations. So if you have these sort of reasons for your career gap, or for any other reason as well, the first thing which you can do is just be honest in front of the recruiters. Be honest that this is a reason I have a career gap. Because if you put something false in your resume, or if you say something false, maybe they can able to track everything from a backend. Okay, if you will say any false organization where you don't have even worked for, so they will do a cross verification. Okay, so you don't need to do all these particular things because it will give a negative impact of yours. Okay, so if you are women, you can simply say that because of this and that reason, because of the personal health issues or because of my family issues, I need to take this career gap. But you can justify your career gap by saying that I took a career gap of 1 to 2 years, but in that particular career gap I have upgraded my skills. Okay, you can say that I have upgraded my skills in this and that domain, I have did this and that courses, and also these are the certifications I got in this time duration. So guys, you need to properly justify your career gap. Okay, career gap, having a career gap is not a problem, but if you can't able to justify your career gap is a big issue. Okay, so now let's talk about what are the things which you can say while justifying your properly career gap. I don't want to be dishonest, I don't want to be very honest as well. Okay, so make sure that you don't need to be very honest that okay, I was traveling or because of this and that reason. Don't be very honest, don't give a random excuse, or don't give excuse which will show that you are not at all serious about your career growth, or which will show that you are not at all productive. So don't give these sort of excuses. You can give excuses for sure, but it needs to be very relevant regarding your current job role, where you are looking for, and as far as your honesty is concerned. Okay, so make sure that you be honest, but you can justify your career gap as well. Okay, so if you have 1+ years to 4+ years of career gap, the best thing, guys, the best thing to hide a career gap is to upgrade your skills. Okay, if you have 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, or even 1+ years of career gap, if for an example, in that particular duration of career gap, you have not did anything. Okay, but when you thought about, okay, now I need to restart my career, then from that time you can at least start doing some courses and all. Okay, let's say you have 3+ years of career gap, and after 3 years you thought like, okay, now I want to restart my career. Okay, and I want to restart my job and so on. So as soon as you thought, it's not like that as soon as you thought you will get a job. Okay, as soon as you thought that I want to restart my career, then your justifying a career gap will start. Like you need to do some courses, you need to do some internships, you need to do some we can say, certifications and so on. If you have a career gap, that's fine. But to justify the career gap, after, your gap as well, you need to work. You need to at least give yourself a 6 months, because I know if you are hearing me, that means you have a career gap and you don't know what needs to be done next. So the next thing that you need to do is to just check out some courses, check out some, profiles where you can work with, check out some, profiles where it can be fit in with your past job or with your interest as well. That is very, very important. Okay. So you need to check out your inner self, because where you find a lot of interest for yourself. Okay. So if you have this much of career gap, you can take up courses. Okay. And for an example, let's take an example like if you have a career gap of this much years and now you want to restart as a data analyst, or you want to get a job in a data analyst domain. The first thing that you need to do is to check out the courses. Okay. The second thing you need to do in that particular course as well, what are the tools and technologies they are using, and what are the skills you will gonna develop, how many hours of sessions will be there, will there be any, internships. Okay. And you need to ask that is there any placement or job support as well or not. Okay. So you need to find a courses in such a way so that it will help you to cover up your career gap. And if you can find any course which will give you a certification as well after completion, that is also good. And also the course which can give you some projects to work on, that is also very important. Okay. So make sure that you find a course for yourself in any domain you want to work with, but you need to check out all these particular things. Okay. The course is a best fit or for you or not, the tools and technologies, the skills, the number of hours of training, are they providing internships or any kind of job support, are they providing a certifications, or are they providing a projects. Okay. Why you need to check out all these particular things if you have a career gap? Why? Because once you complete that particular course, it will help you in the resume building, because you are doing a course for building your resume and for getting a desired job, right? So you need to find something for yourself to hide a career gap. Okay. So once you complete your course, your training, then you need to build your resume, and in resume you can write about the projects you have done, you can write about the skills you developed, you can write about the internships and certifications as well. Okay. So your resume will be well maintained and well prepared about, or for getting a next job as well, because every recruiter, as a recruiter, I also wants to see the resume if you have a good skills and knowledge as well or not. Okay. If you have a career gap, but if you are a highly skilled person, that will work for us. But if you have a career gap, but if you have a zero skills, zero knowledge in any domain, zero set of goals, then it will not work for me or any recruiter as well, because it will show that you are not that productive and you are not that serious about your career. Okay. And that is completely fine if you have not decided it yet, but it's a high time to decide yourself that where you have interest, where you can go, and follow all these methodologies. If you have a less than year of a career gap, then you can just do some free internships from any organization, develop your skill. You can say that I have worked for the NGOs for free after my graduations, and anything less than year of a career gap is not something which you need to highly justify, okay, or specify in front of recruiters. That is fine. But if you have a more than of a year career gap, then you need to be justified. You need to justify by saying these are the skills I have developed, these are the courses I have did, these are the internships I have did, these are the projects I have did, so that your career gap will be fully justifiable. Okay. So that is very, very important. I want to share with all of you in here. Now, the two things also I want to mention in this entire video, which is if you have a career gap after fresher, or if you have a career gap in between of your working life or working profession. For an example, you have worked in a sales, marketing, or HR, and now you have a 2 years of career gap, and now you want to restart your career. Or it can be a case you are a complete fresher, and after graduation itself you didn't find a job for yourself, and you have a 3 years of career gap or 4 years of career gap. You can fall into any criteria, but the one thing that is same for each and every one of you is you need to focus on your skills, get a desired courses for yourself. Okay, also guys, if you want to upgrade your skills in data analytics, and if you feel like that okay, this is a profession where I can go, then I also do a workshops, I also have a courses for a data analytics. You will check out after this particular entire video, you can check out the links in the description. I have put each and everything for you. Okay, so when it comes to if you have a fresher or working professional, you need to build a resume in such a way so that it will show that you have a expertise. Okay, like maybe you have heard this term from Namita a lot of times in a Shark Tank, but you need to have expertise in the job or in the skills where you want to go, where you want to do a job. Okay, so expertise is very important. Okay, for an example, let's say I want to hire a Power BI developer or a data analyst. I will check a resume, and if I see that okay, that person have did a lot of projects, internships, and have a lot of Microsoft certifications as well. So in my mentality, I will think that okay, I don't need to train this person. This person is already trained, and I can hire. And from the second day itself, that person will start working. So I can ignore the career gap as well if the person is highly skilled. Okay, so this is the same thing I want to say to everyone out there. Be skilled, be in a if you are, this is our 21st century and it's a very competitive market. Okay, so always upgrade your skills. And when it comes to a data industry, is something which is very core industry in all over the world. It's a core department of each and every company, and if you want to upgrade your skills in data, then you can join my workshops as well, you can join my courses, and you can check out the link in a description as well. Okay, so guys, this is all about in this particular video. I literally want to motivate you all if you have a career gap and if you are feeling like that you are stuck. Okay, so just be positive. Understand one thing. This is also one of the things that I want to share with all of you, which is your confidence. Okay, how to deal with career gap. Okay, so if you have a very good confidence, if you have a very good expertise, if you have a very good knowledge, it is totally directly proportional to getting your desired job. Okay, so you need to have a very good confidence, expertise, knowledge, and a proper skills as well. Okay, if you have all the four things, skills, we have confidence, expertise, knowledge, you can get your desired job. And all these particular things, guys, it needs to be reflect in your resume, because the first thing which comes in front of the recruiter is your resume. Okay, so this is all about this particular video, guys. And if you like the video, please do subscribe my channel, like the video, and also comment as well, because this is something which I am doing a lot of from my heart itself. Okay, so please do encourage, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye, take care, have fun.